What is up, guys, and welcome back to Rising Trails. Today we're back here at Hersheypark on April 11th, Saturday, April 11th. So this will be the second weekend of the operating season so far. So, getting in the park, it's about 11:05 or such, or maybe a little later than that. But, I wanted to get here right at park opening, but you know how that goes. But I do see that, I saw last night that they're actually selling pieces of back when Fahrenheit had the old hard over the shoulder restraints. They're selling pieces of those, cut-offs of those. The new coaster collection shop that they opened this year. So they're selling those today. I don't know if there'll be any left by the time I get in there, but that's, my main thing. I just want to get in there and see if there's any left. And if it's at a reasonable cost, definitely get it, because that would be nice to have a piece of, either Fahrenheit or Storm Runner, a piece of the park. But let's get in the park and see how this visit to Hersheypark goes. This is my third visit so far, yeah, let's get in the park and have some fun. Okay, guys, now we're getting a ride on Twizzlers Twisted Gravity because the line is only like halfway up the step. So let's get on it. We'll probably get multiple rides on it. So let's see how it is. So this will be my first ride of the season. So let's see how it is. Hey guys, just got off a ride on Twizzlers Twisted Gravity. I sat over here on Strawberry. I forget what seat I sat on. I guess it's seat 16 on Strawberry. It was a great ride, of course. Of course I did get stapled a bit, so it wasn't the best ride. I didn't get the most amount of airtime, but it's like, what are you gonna do? So for what it was a pretty good ride. And I got some airtime. It's just I got like severely stapled, so it wasn't a ton of airtime. Okay, guys, now we're getting on Great Bear. The line isn't horrible, but it's only one train ops, so it's like double the length. So let's see how long it takes and see how it is this season. Okay, guys, just got off of Great Bear. Rode in row 5, the second to left seat. So that was a great ride. It's great to get back on Great Bear. I mean, I do think that the layout is like, it's only a couple elements. It feels like it could do more. I mean, just be comparing it to other inverts that I've ridden, like Talon and Batman at Great Adventure. I do think this is still my favorite invert out of those three. But I definitely want to get more rides of the other ones to really compare it. But I mean, overall, at least for Great Bear, this was a great first ride of the season, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, guys, stopped at Spring Creek Barbecue, and I got the chicken, half chicken, and the baked beans. And you can see I, already ate it, but it was really great. The chicken was great, the best chicken I've ever had here, and the baked beans were pretty good. I mean, their baked beans is, just not my favorite type of baked beans, but nevertheless, for their baked beans, it's the best I've ever had. And overall, the food was all on point. It was all great. So they're definitely doing a better job this season than they did last season, because there was a lot of times last season that they, you come and you get something and it wasn't the best. Okay, guys, now we're going to get a ride on Wildcats Revenge. Of course, my first ride of the season on this. So we'll see how it is in 2026. It's hard to believe that this opened, 3 years ago already. Wow. Okay, guys, just got off of Wildcats Revenge. Rode on row 7, right seat, and phenomenal ride, of course. First time this season, so it's been a bit since I've been on it. It is running a bit slow, but it's only the second weekend of operations, so it's gonna end up running a bit slow. So in a month or so, I'm sure it'll be running up to speed. And of course, they're running all 3 trains, which is great. Now, it's not the fastest operations with those 3 trains, just because, it's the beginning of the season and they're still working out the kinks of the operation, still training new people and such. So it's expected to be a bit slow, but hopefully this season they can keep those 3 train operations throughout the season. But we'll just have to wait and see. And actually, another update is with the lockers. So they kind of redid it, the layout and such. So of course you put a pin in to enter, and it gives you a locker, a randomized locker. And you used to have to put in your locker number. Now all you have to do is put in your locker pin. You do not have to put in the number to the locker. So I was a bit confused there because I was used to putting the locker number in and then the pin. But no, you just put the pin in and it knows which locker it is and it opens it. Okay guys, just got off of the Hershey's Triple Tower. So, you know, great ride, of course. You know, obviously I do prefer the Reese's Tower. I hope they get that back open soon, but you know, and it's just amazing how short of a line this thing has when most of the rest of the park is packed and it has like no line, and that's without Reese's. But overall it was a great ride. Okay guys, just got off a ride on Candemonium. I rode in row 4, far left seat. It took about 15 minutes to wait until I got on, so not bad at all, considering how packed the park is today. I mean, it's not packed, but it is fairly busy. So yeah, it was a great ride, my first ride of Candemonium for the 2026 season. And I will say one thing I noticed is that the drop in the valley, it is a little shaky. It's gotten a little shaky, so that is something to note. It's not unbearable, but you can notice a bit of a shake, so that's something new. And of course, like always, the trims were hitting hard, but you know, that's nothing new. The trims always hit hard on this ride, but overall, it was a great first ride on Candemonium for the 2026 season, and I really enjoyed it. Okay guys, I stopped at Philly Cheesesteak Co. I got a cheesesteak, and I already finished my fries. The fries were pretty good. I mean, you know, they're as usual. It's hard to screw up a fry like that, but now I'll try the cheesesteak. Okay guys, so I finished eating over at Philly Cheesesteak Co. Of course, the cheesesteak was great as always. It's kind of hard to mess that up, but overall the food was great. The fries and the cheesesteak, I really enjoyed it. But you know, now at this point, the crowds are really spread out throughout the park, so a lot of the lines are fairly long, or at least longer than I'd like to wait for them. So you know, I'm honestly just, you know, going around the park and looking for anything new or whatever. Okay guys, now we're going to get a ride on Sky Rush, and it was only 2 switchbacks, so the line isn't bad at all. This is probably the shortest line in all of the park. So I'll wait for Sky Rush if it's just 2 switchbacks, because that's not bad at all, especially since they're running 2 trains. But let's get on Sky Rush for the first time for the 2026 season. Okay guys, just got off of Sky Rush for the first ride of the season, and let me tell you, that was a great ride. I just love this. I feel like every season it somehow gets better and better, but you know, maybe that's just my imagination. But nevertheless, a great ride on Sky Rush. I sat on row 3 left middle seat. It was a great ride and I really enjoyed it. You know, of course it does have sections that are a bit, you know, rattly, but overall it's a great ride, and of course there's multiple sections where you gray out, but it's a great ride and I really enjoyed it. Okay guys, just got off of my second ride on Sky Rush, or I rode on row 4 left wing seat. Of course, great ride. Nothing can beat a wing seat ride on Sky Rush. I'm not sure honestly if I prefer right wing seat or left wing seat, because I just rode left and I really enjoyed that. In the past I always said, oh, right wing seat is the best. You know, I used to be, oh, back row right wing seat, that was my favorite seat, but I don't know anymore. Honestly, at this point I'm like, honestly, any seat is good, and I can't really even tell that much of a difference. Yeah, I'd rather ride on a wing seat, but it's honestly not that big of a difference. And one thing I will add in terms of an update was that they did remove that turnstile that they had at the bottom of the exit steps on Sky Rush. That was a huge bottleneck, especially on days that the ride wasn't that busy and you could just go around and lap it and marathon it. That was a bottleneck. So now this year, if there's a day that it's dead and you're marathoning it, that'll be so much quicker because you can just run up and down again and again and ride it. Okay guys, so I have made a decision, and that is in this new coaster collectibles, which is new for the 2026 season. It is I guess a coaster merchandise shop. I have made the decision because earlier I wasn't quite sure, and that is that I will be, you know, purchasing one of these restraint cutoffs from
Fahrenheit. They did have Storm Runner as well, but by the time I got here this morning, there's only one left, and I'd honestly rather have the Fahrenheit ones. But they have the Storm Runner horses still under it, so they do have something from Storm Runner, but not something that's this unique or this valuable. So let's get one of these. Okay guys, so I got the goods. I had them wrap it up just, you know, to keep it safer, I guess. Whatever, it doesn't really matter, but, you know, I'm super stoked about this. This is the first ever piece of, this is actually a piece of the park, history of the park. You know, it's not like a piece of merchandise. It's like, yeah, some merchandise is really cool, but it's like, you know, it's made in a factory. It's not made specifically for the park necessarily. This is actually a piece of the park, you know, operated on Fahrenheit for who knows how many years. This is really phenomenal, it's really a Hersheypark happy moment. I really wish I would have gotten the Lightning Racer train cutoffs that they were selling last year, and I believe those were only like 20 bucks, so that would have been really nice because this was like 40. But honestly, it's not horrible considering it's a piece of the park. Well, you know, with the season pass discount, it only ended up being like 36 something, so not horrible. You know, and that was after tax and everything. So not horrible, honestly. Like, I don't buy park merch. I don't buy, you know, like shirts and sweatshirts and stuff because I don't really wear, you know, t-shirts and sweatshirts. It's definitely something cool, and it's something I will, you know, definitely keep for a long time. And, you know, who knows how much, you know, in the future, if I don't want to keep it, I could sell it for probably a good amount of money. An actual piece of Fahrenheit's train. It's just phenomenal to have, and I am, like I said many times, super stoked. It's a very unique piece of merchandise, and definitely very cool. But with that, guys, we're heading out of Hersheypark. Of course, like I said, I got this awesome piece of merchandise. Overall, I had a great day, and I'm honestly surprised that they didn't go quicker. It was like for a couple hours there, I saw they had 4, and I came back a couple hours later, they still had 4. I'm honestly surprised they didn't sell quick. I do think the Storm Runner one sold a lot quicker because people, for whatever reason, would rather have the Storm Runner ones, but I honestly don't care. I think I do rather have the Fahrenheit one. So yeah, definitely a unique piece of merchandise. But overall, I had a fun day here, and I really enjoyed my day here, and I just can't wait for the rest of the season to unfold. I think there's going to be a good season. I mean, probably the busiest season yet. I feel like that happens every year. Hersheypark just gets busier and busier compared to some parks that might not. But definitely had a fun day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are not already subscribed, make sure you go down and subscribe. Make sure you go down and subscribe because that helps out a lot. You know, yeah, it helps out a lot if you subscribe. Make sure you like the video, share it, leave a comment if you want to. Do all those things. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.